Hi, Roy here. I just thought I'd make an impromptu little video about stuff I think I might read next month, because it's nearly the end of March, so April is upon us next week, and I'm not really doing any events as such, so I feel like there's some kind of weird spring break or something, so that's good. So never quite know what I'm going to end up doing, because I like to sort of get caught up in weird little side missions and so on, but apart from that, I do want to continue with my read through of the various 2001 A Space Odyssey sequels, etc. So I'm doing it in like release order, so at the moment I'm working my way through comic books that came out in the mid-70s. I'm up to number 8 in a series of 10, so they'll be finished soon, and these guys will get their own video about the comics. And then I need to read the Arthur C. Clarke novel 2010 Odyssey 2, which also made a film which I've never seen. People speak quite highly of it, very different kind of movie, so looking forward to both. And this time it was the more sort of usual process of a book being adapted into a film. So we'll see how that works out, and basically where the whole thing goes, because it seems to me that the 2001 movie and book were kind of pretty much perfect in themselves. You know, it's sort of adding on a sort of sequel is going to be a challenge, but we'll see. I've got every confidence in Arthur C. Clarke. Also, our Finnegans Wake read-along begins, and that's got its own videos as well. So this is something I said I'd do with Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics, and other people have opted in as well. There's like a little family of us going to be reading parts of James Joyce's Finnegans Wake. So again, got its own videos, so I won't say too much about that. Just that this looks like the copy I'm going to be reading. It's one I bought second hand. Basically like the fact it had big margins, so I could make notes and stuff like that, hence the coloured pencils. They won't mean anything, I'll just draw weird hieroglyphics on the pages to look as if I've kind of had huge insight into what I'm reading. But I noticed that the previous owner had done a really good job of wrapping it in clear plastic to protect the cover, and written their name in it, and I found them on Blue Sky and complimented them on their plastic wrapping skills, so that was nice. What else? Well, here's a bit of a follow-up to something that came out of Filmtastic February. So I read the science fiction novel Foursided Triangle that was made into a film, and while I was looking into stuff to do with the film, saw that it was just about to be released as a Blu-ray with some fancy doodads. So I thought I will get that. I do think it's an interesting film. So Filmtastic February was a great event devised by Annie at Obscure Book Adventures, and I was one of the co-hosts together with Duncan, back away from the donkey, and I looked at various movies featuring a particular movie star, Barbara Payton. So yeah, I don't usually bother with sort of special edition stuff, but this sounded like it had sort of really interesting commentaries and some printed material as well. Although it actually came, what I'd paid for actually came in 2 parts. The first part, about a week before this, was an A3 poster in a cardboard tube. So for just a moment I thought I'd made a horrendous mistake spent a lot of money for an E3 poster. But no, that was just some kind of extra for, I don't know, backing it early or something like that. So, in a bit of an unboxing, let's see what you do get in your Foursided Triangle from Hammer. So, Hammer, best known for their horror films, but they did some science fiction too, which this is some. Quatermass movies would be a bit of a famous example. So it's a nice, that bit falls off. It's a Hammer restoration. But the box is nice. That's what I've got on my poster. Presumably this was a movie poster back in the day, or it's one that's been created for this. This one looks very much like Of the Time. The unusual and controversial star British film. And these are the stars: Barbara Payton, James Hayter, Stephen Murray, John Van Eysen. It's unbelievable, amazing, gripping. Okay, it's exclusive British. Now they say that like it's a good thing, and one thing that happened back in the days of British-made B-movies showing up on your cinema screen was they would shout, "Take it off, it's British," because there were so many terrible quota quickies. And this isn't like the best movie ever, but I do think it's lots of interesting things about it. Right, so what have we got? Well, discs, obviously, like I said, Blu-ray. I can't appreciate that really. I can't tell the difference between I can tell the difference between like VHS and DVDs. Whether I can really tell the difference between sort of how many Ks there are in the screen, I'm not sure. So couple of discs, can't remember what you get in terms of extras and so. I'm sure there's some interesting features. Book. So this is a nicely solid book, 116 pages. Another publicity quote: "He outdid Frankenstein and created this beautiful woman to satisfy his strange lust for passion." Interesting, you have a lust not for something, a lust for passion. You know, it's like lust, that's having lust for lust.
Yes.
When does it actually arrive?
You have a passion for lust for passion.
Yeah. Well, he is British. My lust for passion. So this has got making of, Frankenstein adjacent. So yes, it is something of a Frankenstein story. So it's got an article about how that sort of basic story is used in lots of movies. Weird Science, look at the novel. Quote title: "In the Japanese version we added more blood." Archive interview. As Uncle Ted opens the door, Fraser shoots him down like the raving madman he is. A look at the unsuccessful 90s attempts to remake Foursided Triangle. I had no idea about that. Right, limited collector's edition content. Restoration details. More great publicity stuff. It's a really tame movie, you know. They try and dial it up and build on the notoriety of Barbara Payton to make it look like it's going to be sort of outrageously squelchy and kind of brain-bendingly science fictional. So good luck with that, but it's good for what it is. About the versions. Film historian Lucy Bolton takes an unvarnished look at Barbara Payton, her body of work, her riches to rags story of Hollywood excess. So that's one of the DVD things. Oh yeah, great bunch of things to come. Problematic Sexual Politics, Familial Ties to Metropolis, Vertigo, and The Man in the White Suit. Okay, so looks like there's some cool stuff on the disc itself, and like I say, this is a really nice book. Looks like I've got another poster or two. So without ripping them to
You've got a whole
pieces,
room upstairs that you can put your posters up in, so I don't have to see them.
we have no walls. That's the problem. You know, this rumoured upstairs is like an attic, so that's not really got walls as such.
It's got ceiling.
Surfaces,
Low
yeah,
ceiling.
I suppose. Look at this, lovely. And looks like a reproduction of the press book. So the sort of publicity manuals you used to get with movies. That would go to the cinemas to suggest how they can promote them. Fantastic. Okay, so that's a thing. Other than that, I think one of my new rules is about no deadlines. So that means I'm kind of bowling along, reading what I want. A casualty of that's been sort of Patreon, like book club reads. I've observed them from the sidelines without actually reading the books. Often I've got the books look great, they're on my TBR, but I haven't really been reading them. An exception has been the Theological book club on Faith and Books channel. And that's got 4 picks for the year, so each one has like a quarter, 3 months to read it, which is good. So I'll be piling into an essay on the development of Christian doctrine by John Henry Newman. Bit of a chunk, but nice book, should be interesting, and the discussions on Faith's Discord are a rewarding thing to be part of. So there's that. Plus, I should have a sort of God slot programme. I've been thinking,
really,
as it's a channel, there should be a gardening programme, a religious affairs, closed down at the end.
Pottery wheel. No one under the age of us outside the UK will understand that at all.
The interlude. Interlude.
Yeah.
Okay.
So restful, the interlude. We should still have them.
We should, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, alright. Good. Back soon with something else.
May I wish you, on behalf of everyone here,
Roy reads anything.
a very good night.